private detectives Bernie Weinstock and Norman Lugg, together with their assistant Oliver Ottershaw, have become involved with Helen Carter. Her late father, Jack, wrote a wartime diary which revealed that he hid a large quantity of diamonds somewhere in Holland, just before being taken prisoner by the Germans. Unfortunately, the last page of the diary is almost unreadable, neither the hiding place nor the Dutch town being revealed. The only decipherable words are horn, corn, and D-E-double-S. Bernie's car has been stolen by Mickey Jordan, a car thief working for gang leader Cyril Blackman. He listens to Helen's tape, which was in the car, and decides to have Bernie and Norman followed. Also interested in the case following the theft of Bernie's car and a raid on his office is Inspector Dearlove, who is keeping tabs on them. Bernie and Norman pay a visit to George Billiard, Jack Carter's old platoon sergeant, who now runs a yacht broking business. Billiard assures them he knows nothing of the Carter incident, but it appears that he is in league with Foxwell, another member of his wartime platoon. They leave immediately for Harsdorp, the Dutch town where Carter hid the diamonds. Reporting back to Helen, the detectives learn that her father had a wartime sweetheart, whom they decide to interview. Helen offers to fly them to Holland the following morning. But when she leaves the house, her journey is rudely interrupted.
Let me go. Who are you? What do you want with me?
We don't know what we want, my lady. That's up to our governor. But you behave yourself. Otherwise, I'll give you a little tap with this. Here, what are we stopping for?
Mr. B told me to pick up a couple of bottles of brandy. Keep an eye on her. Won't be a minute.
You better let me go, or you'll find yourself in terrible trouble. Kidnapping's a serious offence, you know.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd write and complain to your MP.
Stupid git. What do you think he's up to? Watch her. Oi, you! Pig's head! Why don't you take a driving test?
You addressing me, friend?
Yeah, cough up. Yours are a headlight.
Dearie me, I am clumsy. I keep breaking things. Like your nose, for instance.
Oh! Yeah, if you're looking for trouble, mate, you just found it.
I'm not going to run away if you fancy your chances. I don't think you're a very nice gentleman.
Why not?
Even your young lady's running away from you.
Yeah, get up! The bird's scarpered! Thanks very much, mate. See you again soon. Oh, it's true. Excuse me, mate.
Yeah?
Did you see what happened to the people in that motor?
Well, you with them, friend?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they went pelting off in that direction.
Yeah.
Oh, so. Be nice to people, and they'll be nice to you.
Hey, what's your game?
Now listen, boys and girls, I've got some news for you. Daddy's going away for a couple of days. All right, don't panic. Oh, Griselda, such a softie you are. I might go to Holland. I might even bring you back some Dutch bulbs to play with. Now, while I'm away, I want you to behave yourselves. No cross-pollinating and getting up to naughty tricks with bees, right? I think I'll put you over here, young man. Now what? Bernie Weinstock? Oh, hello, Ellen, how are you? You been what? Kidnapped? Well, where are you? Waterloo Station? Well, now listen, you stay there, and me and the boys will be round to fetch you, right? Understand? Good. My life.
Oh, Cyril, that was a lovely move.
Thank you, darling, thank you.
Not yours. I meant that through ball from midfield. Caught the offside trap and beat the defence square.
Gloria, I did not bring you here to watch football, you know.
But that's what I thought when you said QPR, but they're playing very well. Oh! Handball, ref! Handball! I like their tactics. They're not letting the opposition play their own game.
I'm not being allowed to play mine either. Come in.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Blackman. Oh, I'm sorry to disturb you.
What the devil are you doing here, Reg? You're supposed to be doing an errand for me.
Oh, I'm afraid we've mislaid the merchandise.
Tighten up on your markings. You're meant to be playing 4-2-4. Now, come on.
I'll get the details from you later. I am not pleased.
I didn't think you would be, but what are we going to do now?
I don't know. Let me think.
You dirty beast. That was right over the top. Send him off, ref.
Gloria, why don't you have some more champagne?
Great game, isn't it, Cyril?
The bird is hardly likely to return to her nest.
That's very true.
She will, of course, contact our private detective friend.
Weinstock, you mean?
Yes. Is Mickey Jordan still following him?
Yeah.
Then he'll know where they meet and when.
It stands to reason.
Right, I want you to go back to the garage, wait till Mickey rings in, go out and grab her. I want whatever information she may have.
There'll be no slip-ups this time, Mr. Blackman.
I sincerely hope not, Reg, because you might find yourself being made redundant. He's one up on me.
Marvellous, isn't it? There's a big fight on tonight, now I'm going to miss it.
Well, never mind. Perhaps your missus will beat you up another time.
Look, there she is.
Hello, mate, it's you. Yeah, where are you? Right. In a car, lads. Waterloo Station. Weinstock and his mates are there with a bird. Hello, Mickey. Right, you stay where you are. We'll be with you in a few minutes. Right.
Unfortunately, the door's shut just as they reach my carriage.
You're a very lucky girl, Helen.
Did you recognise any of the three men in the car?
No, I've never seen any of them before.
Well, what on earth would they want to snatch you for?
Unfortunately, it sticks out a mile, mate. It's got to be something to do with them diamonds.
Can't be. Nobody knows except us.
Well, how about the geezer who nicked my car? Had the tapes of the conversation we had with Ellen in it. No, it's probably some clever clogs who's put two and two together and made four.
Don't sound very likely.
Oh, well, if you assume he's a villain and not just a joyrider, it could explain the fellow in the office with the shotgun.
Oh, you mean if he played back the tape, he could be looking for the diary?
Makes sense.
Oh, not bad for British rail. What is it, mushroom?
There.
Oh, no, it's minestrone. It's got to be. It's got lumps in it.
Actually, it's tea.
What I don't understand is, even if these men had played the tape, how did they find out my address?
Seems obvious to me.
Oh, everything seems obvious to you, smart ass. Sorry, miss.
We're being followed.
What?
Someone's probably watching us at this very moment.
Quick, on your feet. No use making ourselves an easy target, you know. Well, one thing's for sure, you can't go back to your place tonight, Ellen. Those fellas might have another try. The best thing is for the four of us to stick together. We'll spend the night at my house and go straight to the airfield in the morning.
Do you think it might be a good idea, Mr. Weinstock, if we left the station by the back door, so to speak?
It's a good idea. If you know the way, lead on. What's all this then?
Bernie, those are two of the men that kidnapped me.
Right, lady. You come quietly with us, and there won't be any need for any violence.
She'll do no such thing. Get behind me, Ellen. Go on.
Perhaps I should have a word with him, Mr. Weinstock.
That won't do no good, Ollie. You may be brainy, but it's brawn that's needed here.
Hand her over, you're wasting time.
Now, look here. My name is Oliver Ottershaw, and I think it only fair to warn you that if you persist in your present course of conduct, it could lead to very serious consequences. So I suggest you push on. Go on. Go away.
We're quaking in our boots, ain't we, lads?
Yeah. Very well. Excuse me. Thank you.
You've been watching too much telly, Sonny Jim. It's going to give me great pleasure to cut your ears off. Let that be a lesson to you, young man.
Jolly good job they cleared off when they did. I was just about to lose my temper.
You were marvellous, Oliver.
Not only marvellous, incredible.
Typical of you, Oliver. Hogging all the action. I was just about to tear 'em apart myself.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Lugg. I didn't realise you wanted to do it.
Oh, that's all right, mate. We'll forget it this time. You handled it reasonably well.
Ignore him, Ollie. When it comes to chops, you can't tell the difference between karate or lamb. You're looking at a fighting machine, trained to a hair, honed to a knife edge. Where'd you learn all that stuff?
In Japan. I went there after I left school to study under the great Hokkaido Fujinaka Nishi.
Oh, him. No wonder you're good.
You've heard of him?
Never.
I'm black belt, actually. 5th Dan.
Don't you think we ought to be going, Bernie? They may come back with reinforcements.
Let them come. My boy can cope.
He might be a wonder man, but he can't stop bullets.
Well, that's a thought, isn't it? Come on, let's get out of here.
That was a delicious pudding, Bernie.
Certainly was. Thank you for volunteering to cook, Oliver. A pleasure. I was going to do an egg and chips myself, but I must say that first course was delicious. What was it called?
Dinde de fleton du glaire with pomme dauphine.
You're amazing, Oliver. You really are. Where did you learn to cook like that?
Well, after I left Japan, I went to Paris to study under maître chef de cuisine Gaston Rouffoux.
I reckon it's demeaning for a man to cook. It's a woman's job. Men that cook are usually poofters.
That's the daftest statement I ever heard. You enjoyed the meal, all right?
It was all right for foreign muck.
You had 3 helpings.
Well, it's not filling like proper food, is it?
Everybody fancy a drop of brandy?
Oh, yeah.
Not for me, thanks, Bernie. I must keep a clear head if I'm flying tomorrow.
You can say that again. Not much chance of getting breathalyzed up there.
You men go and sit down. I'll get on with washing up.
Right. Cheers.
Oh, blimey, who's that? I wasn't expecting anybody. Go and answer it, will you, Oliver?
Yes, certainly.
It's probably my missus checking to see I'm really here.
Well, she won't ring the bell. She'll kick the door in.
It's Inspector Dearlove. He wants to have a few words with you, Mr. Weinstock.
Well, good evening, Inspector, and your trusty sergeant. Do take a seat.
Oh, that's very kind. We'd never get it in the car. Oh, but as good as gold.
To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? Don't tell me you found my wallet, or better still, my car.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Weinstock. But I can assure you that we are deploying to the full the resources of the department which deals with such cases, i.e. Police Constable Fish.
I'm honoured to be receiving the attentions of such a distinguished investigator. PC Fish, no less.
Don't knock it, Mr. Weinstock. He'll keep a lookout for your belongings. He had a clue last week. Had a clue. Turned out to be a red herring.
Brilliant the way your mind works, sir. Brilliant.
Yeah. Right. You're right. That's enough of that. I like a good laugh the same as the next man. Must remember we're still on duty.
Oh, what a pity. That means I can't offer you a drink. Now, what was it you wanted?
I'd like to ask you a few questions, Mr. Weinstock.
Far away.
I understand that you 3 were involved in a little fracas in Waterloo Station early this evening, in the company of a lady.
Yes, that's...
Utterly wrong. Where on earth did you hear such a ridiculous story?
From one of my detective constables. He said there was a lot of punching and kicking and bodies flying about.
Oh, probably a couple of commuters having a friendly chat with the train driver.
No point in denying it. I'm having you followed.
Why? What for? I'm not a criminal.
Possibly not, sir. But we happen to know that there's someone else following you, and he is a villain.
Then why don't you do your duty and arrest him?
Because I'm trying to find out who's employing him and why. Tell me about this case you're working on.
Case? What case?
The one involving diamonds to the tune of a 7-figure sum. Mr. Lugg knows all about it, don't you, sir?
No, I don't.
That's not what you told an attractive young WPC in a pub in Upper Lenwade.
You mean that bird was a copper?
Still is, to my knowledge.
We're not all like PC 49, you know, sir.
No. More like PC 36, 24, 36.
I'm surprised at you, Inspector. I really am. Fancy you getting taken in with a story like that. That's his chat-up line. He spins them yards to all the birds, don't you, Norm?
Yeah, that's right, I do. Yeah.
Yes, he's doing very well and all. He's got kids all over the country.
So you've nothing whatsoever to tell me?
Oh, nothing at all, no.
Well, there you are, Frisbee. As the artist with the broken pencil said, I've drawn a blank. My apologies for troubling you, gentlemen. You 3 are up to something. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out in the end. And if it's anything illegal, you'll find yourself in the same position as the nation's publicans.
And what's that, Inspector?
Spending a lot of time behind bars.
Well, that's a nice little turn-up. Not only are we being followed by some villain, we got the law on our tail as well.
But what I don't understand is why you lied to him. Well, surely there wouldn't be any harm in the police knowing what we're doing.
Oh, with the sort of money involved in this case, the fewer the people that know about it, the better.
Well, I think I'll take myself off to bed. If we get to the airfield by about 8, you'll be in Amsterdam before lunch. Thanks for everything. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ellen.
Night.
Well, love, I only hope you're still alive and still living at the same address.
And can remember something that'll help us find the diamonds. Well, I hope the wind drops for this little plane trip. I don't fancy a bumpy ride.
I only hope I'm not sick. I wish I had a bag.
I'll leave your wife out of it, Norm.
It's very nice of you to let me come along for the ride, Mr. Weinstock, but I wish you'd let me stay with you in Holland and give you a hand.
Your job is to stay with Miss Carter, look after her, see she's OK, all right?
Ready, gentlemen?
Oh, everything all right, Helen?
Yes, fine. We're clear for takeoff.
I must just go to the gents before we leave.
Good thinking. After all, up there, you can't pull into a lay-by and nip behind a cloud, can you? I suppose all the parachutes are on board all right, Helen?
You won't be needing parachutes, Bernie. You'll be as safe as a church up there.
Oh, I'm not worried about up there. I'm not worried about down here. I'm worried about the bit in between.
You know, statistically speaking, Mr. Weinstock, you have more chance of being knocked down by a bus than being killed in a plane crash.
I was knocked down by a bus.
I must say, George, I've never been a great one for the sea and sailing and all that lark, but I really enjoyed this trip over.
Well, I'm not surprised. You spent most of the time down there knocking back my booze.
Wouldn't have been much use to you up here now, would it? I mean, you're the one who's expert at handling the boat.
Ah, that's to be expected. After all, I've received the finest possible training when I was in the Royal Navy.
Now, George, remember who you're talking to. It's old Foxy.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Foxy. This phony act of mine is becoming second nature. I have learnt never to lower my guard. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, Amsterdam, isn't it?
Very nice. All it needs is a few proper English pubs. How are we going to get to our store, by the way?
Well, we'll hire a car. Shouldn't take us more than an hour to get there.
What do we look for when we arrive?
I wish I knew, Foxy, my old son. I wish I knew.
Thank you very much. It was a very smooth flight. Very nice indeed.
It's a pound to a penny that Jack Carter nicked a whole lot of diamonds from that jeweller's shop just before he was grabbed by the Jerrys. Now, if the stones were still on him, they would have vanished without a trace, but they obviously didn't because those two detectives are looking for them. So, Carter must have hidden them somewhere between leaving the shop and getting put in the bag.
George, you've got a very deductive mind. I'm surprised you never made it beyond Sergeant.
Oh, I undoubtedly would have done. Except I was found in a somewhat indelicate situation with a young lady behind the nappy.
I mean, half the flaming army was called like that.
Yeah, but not with the General's youngest daughter.
In that case, she was lucky to make Sergeant.
Well, Foxy, let's find a nice cafe and have a decent meal. I'm starving.
Good idea.
When it's spring again, I'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. With a love that's true, I'll bring to you.
Why don't you shut up?
What's the matter with you?
You've been singing that blooming song ever since we left England. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right, don't get stroppy. I'm told I've got a very pleasant voice.
Whoever told you that must have had his deaf aid switched off. Anyway, what kind of transport do you call this? Why didn't you get a car?
Bloke at the airport said he'd lend us these 2 bikes. You can't look a gift horse in the mouth, can you?
How much further is it?
The bloke said about half an hour.
Foreigners, what do they know?
I saw a mouse where there on the stairs, where on the stairs, right there, a little mouse with clogs on. Well, I take care. Go and clip clippity-clop on the stairs.
I'll go clip clippity-clop on your head in a minute.
Well, this is idle start, all right, but where's 241? Oh, I'll ask this geezer here. Excuse me, pardonnez-moi. Je suis Angleterre. Signor, compris? We wish to ask ein question.
Oh, by all means. Oh, go ahead.
Goody, goody.
What is your question?
You speak the English?
I do.
Ah, good. We want to know where 241 Arnoldstraat is.
You found it. This houseboat is it.
Oh, well, there's a turn-up. We're looking for the lady in this photo here.
That is an old picture of my aunt. Who are you? What do you want?
Look at the inscription on the photo.
To my darling Jack. Ever yours, Greta. This Jack must have been a British soldier that my aunt knew.
That's right, yeah.
Obviously a close friend.
Oh, exactly, yes.
How is he?
He's kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
Really? What a strange thing to do.
No, what my friend means that he's pushing up the daisies.
Oh, he's a gardener.
No, he's gone before. He's passed over. He's croaked it.
Snuffed it.
Really? But how is he?
He's dead.
I'm sorry to hear that. And so will my aunt be.
Yes, well, I mean, we'd like to have a word with her if possible.
Oh, of course. She runs a cafe not too far from here.
Oh, would. Can you tell us which direction?
Oh, no need. Jump in the mental boat. I will take you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Not a bad bit of grub, that, eh, George?
Satisfying and sleep-inducing. Well, I'll have one more of these and then I'll go below for a kip, I think.
George, did you see who that was? In that little boat?
No.
There's them two private eyes from England. Weinstock and his mate.
Blimey, you're right. They must be onto us.
Don't lose sight of them, George. I'll just go below and collect something from my bag. Come on, George, quick.
Foxy, where'd you get that from?
I nicked it from the Colonel's weapons collection. Thought it might come in handy sometime.
What's the matter with you, Norm? Every time you get into a boat, you jump overboard and have a swim.
Oh, what was that bang? There was a big bang.
Somebody dropped an hand grenade into me hat and I chucked it in the canal.
Good God, what for?
Well, I didn't want to get my head blown off, or anything else either.
Why should anyone drop a grenade in your hat?
No, it's not a bad hat.
Johannes Meegeren.
Pardon?
I'm afraid it's my fault. The grenade was meant for me, not you. Johannes Meegeren must have dropped it. He's a friend of mine.
Well, God help us if anybody takes a dislike to you.
He thinks I'm having an affair with his wife, you see.
And are you?
Not if he's going to start throwing grenades about.
Oh, that's great, that is. He's having a bit on the side, I end up over the side. Blooming foreigners, they make you sick.
Now, Norm, don't go overboard.
Oh, you trying to be funny, I'll smack you straight in the mouth.
What I mean is don't go off the deep end.
When we get to my aunt's place, she will take your clothes off and dry them for you.
She won't get my clothes off. I am a very modest man.
That's right, he is. And he's got a lot to be modest about, I'll tell you.
This way, gentlemen. This is my aunt's establishment. Hallo, tante.
Piet, wat doe jij hier, lieveling?
Deze twee heren kwamen naar de boot en vroegen naar jou. Ze zijn Engels.
English adorables. They'll always be in England.
So far, you're right. I wouldn't bet on next year, though.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. All my life I wanted to be a boy.
Good God, where did you learn that?
A very handsome corporal in the Middlesex Regiment taught it to me. In return for a few things I taught him.
You seem to have a special fancy for corporals.
What do you mean?
Well, you gave this photo to one. Bloke called Jack Carter in the Royal Wessex Regiment.
To my darling Jack, ever yours, Greta.
I'm sorry to revive painful memories, reopen old wounds. I expect you can hardly bear to think of him.
Think about him. I can't even remember him. He must be one of my darling boys, of course.
One of them?
Oh, there were several, yes. Come, I show you.
To my darling bird, ever yours, Greta. To my darling Dennis, Mac, Jock, Taff, blimey O'Reilly.
Yes, I knew a lot of soldiers during the war. I was in the resistance.
Yeah, he didn't put up much by the look of it.
That may be, but I did a lot for their morale.
If not their morals.
Well, they must have enjoyed my company. Look how many have come back to see me since the war.
Excuse me, is there any chance of me nipping upstairs and getting me clothes off?
Patience, darling. You British are so hot-blooded.
No. What he means is he fell in the canal and his clobber's sopping wet.
Of course. Pete, take him upstairs and find a few dry things.
Thank you very much.
This way, please.
Now, darling, would you like a drink?
Oh, that's very kind. I'll have a beer. By the way, I ought to introduce myself. My name's Bernie Weinstock. I'm a private detective.
And you were a detective once. We were very good friends. I just couldn't hide anything from him. He put his finger on all my little secrets.
We have a gift for that sort of thing.
And very enchanting it is, too. I only hope you will be investigating me thoroughly.
Yes. Well, I did want to ask you a question.
And the answer is yes, darling. From the moment I saw you, I knew we were going to be very close.
Oh, yes, me too. But you know what they say, business before pleasure. How about this question?
Yeah?
Jack Carter was arrested by the Germans in 1944. Can you tell me whereabouts in Holland this took place?
No.
Oh.
But maybe I will be able to find it in my diary.
You need a fair-sized diary to keep track of all your boyfriends, then?
Don't be silly, darling. This is from A to K. Now, let me see. Carter. Brian, David, Freddie, George. Oh, he was a delicious brigadier. Ian. Ah, here we are, Jacques. Royal Wessex Regiment.
That's right, yeah, that's him.
Page 105. Seems that the last time I heard from him was in October 1944.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
His unit was then in the region of a small town called Harsdorp.
How do you know that?
I told you, I was in the underground. I was familiar with the movement of Allied troops in more ways than one.
You reckon that was the place, then?
It's possible.
How far is it?
Harsdorp, oh, about an hour's drive from here.
Oh, pity. We haven't got a car.
You're welcome to borrow mine, darling.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Well, it's very, very kind of you.
Always happy to oblige a gentleman. Besides, you may be able to do a little something for me in return.
Yes, well,
That's it, go on, laugh. What's so funny?
Well, if it isn't my old Dutch. You looking for a duck to stick your finger in?
Those clothes belong to one of my husbands. You look just like him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
While you were upstairs, Norm, I was having a chat to Greta here. She gave us some very useful information. Not only that, she offered to lend us her car.
Oh, that's nice of her.
Always keen to show his gratitude, is our Norm. I'm sure he'd like to express our combined appreciation, know what I mean?
Would he?
Wouldn't you, Norm?
Do what?
There you are, see? Keen as mustard.
Pete, look after the bar for a few minutes, will you, please?
Okay. Well, I think I'll have a breath of fresh air. Take a stroll along the canal.
Hang about, I'll come with you.
What did that cost you? You must be joking.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten.
Never mind. Great to keep you amused. Now, darling, I'm sure you want to get out of those silly clothes. So let us go upstairs and find out if you're on a drive.
No, they won't be, not yet.
Oh, come on, let us find out.
No, well, I know they won't. I'm certain of it.
Darling, in love again.
Oh, dear. I'd love to have seen their faces when that grenade dropped in their boat.
Yes, I don't suppose they were thrilled to bits.
No. More like blown to bits. There'll be bluebirds on the rained cliffs of her.
Right, stop the car and get out.
Huh?
I should never have allowed you to stop and buy that booze. You're as bad as the old colonel. We cannot afford to get into trouble with the Dutch police.
Oh, don't be so po-faced. Bloody funny, though, you must admit.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Do you remember? It dropped right between his knees.
Neat as you please.
You could say it was a bombe supreme. Well, well, well. Look at that, Foxy. We're nearly there. Now we'll find out whether this little trip has been worth our while.
You lumber me, Bernie. I'll kill you when I get my strength back. Don't complain, Norman.
Rita lent us her card, absolutely no cost whatsoever.
No cost to you, maybe, but I'm exhausted.
Norman!
Oh, no. She's not coming after me, is she?
You've only got yourself to blame, haven't you? I mean, you led her on. Anyway, your clothes are nice and dry.
Dry? They're on the verge of bursting into flames.
Goodbye, my darling. Come back soon.
I've marked the way to Haasdorp. Go through the center of Amsterdam and follow the signs. You can't go wrong.
Thanks for all your help, Pete.
A pleasure. And as for you, you lucky dog, you've made a great hit with my auntie. Perhaps one day soon I shall be calling you Uncle.
See you in a couple of days, Pete.
Well?
Nothing definite. Not yet, anyway.
I don't recognise nothing yet.
Yeah, nor me. Wait a minute. Look, this place here. Now, there was a Jerry sniper up on that roof. He let one off at the CO, and you got him right between the eyes.
Yeah, that's right. He come down like a pheasant. Splosh on the pavement.
Yes, we're getting warm, Foxy. Now, this street must lead to the square. So that old jeweller's shop has got to be here somewhere abouts. Come on, follow me.
Right. But this part's all new. It's been rebuilt.
Well, you can't expect them to have left it like it was in 1944, can you?
That was the kibosh on it then. We've had it.
No, not necessarily. Hang on a minute, Foxy.
Lousy waste of time, if you ask me. Don't apologise, will you? You never know, I could be your father.
Foxy, we are in the right place. There was a jeweller's shop 3 doors down from here. Now, cast your mind back. You, me and the CO were outside the jeweller's. Carter was inside. Now, Lieutenant Edgerton shouted to him. Come on, Carter, we're pulling out!
Come inside.
Now, we came running out this way, but Carter ran out of the shop and went towards the square. Foxy, I have got an idea.
Yeah? What is it? Come on, George, tell me.
It could be the answer.
Yeah, but what could?
Do you know, Foxy, there's something missing. There is definitely something missing. Come with me a minute.
Oh, yes, Titian's always been one of my favourite artists. He studied under the Bellinis, you know. Although, of course, he was very heavily influenced by Giorgione. You've only got to look at his Bacchus and Ariadne to see that.
You never cease to amaze me, Oliver. How do you know so much about art?
I studied in Italy under Ugo Di Falco.
I don't know. What with martial arts, cookery and painting, you must be a damn sight older than you look.
I say, I do hope I'm not boring you, Miss Carter.
Of course not, Oliver. I say, I don't really think I need a full-time bodyguard, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it all the same.
Well, Mr. Weinstock's instructions were quite specific. I'm not to let you out of my sight. Yeah, during the day, that is.
I'm not complaining. I'll just relax and soak up the culture.
I thought we might do the V&A tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be fun. I haven't been there for years.
Ah, come and have a look at this one. It's by Poussin, French classical school. The poise of the composition is quite superb. Now, there's Echo and Narcissus in the foreground, you see. Oh, and that's Ajax over there. Oh, and there's Flora, sprinkling flowers. Now, quite who that's supposed to be holding the cornucopia, I'm not quite sure. But I think it's... Cornucopia? Good Lord.
What is it, Oliver?
Well, something just struck me.
Well, let's face it. Always was a long shot, a real outside chance. My fault, you know. I should never talk you into it.
Don't blame yourself, Bernie. It was a sort of glamorous idea. A fortune in diamonds, mysteriously hidden. Even I got caught up in it, and you know how dull and unimaginative I am.
Yeah.
What?
No, I mean, you're not. No, you're cautious and sensible. Do you know, we've been walking about this Arsdorp a dozen times, and what have we detected? Nothing.
So what do you think we should do?
There's only one thing left to do. Get on the blower to Oliver and get him to get Ellen to fly out here and take us out of it. There's a phone box over here.
And when I came round, Miss Carter had disappeared, and that note was in my pocket.
You can have the lady's life in exchange for the Dutch diamonds. Instructions will follow. Doesn't really tell us much, does it, Frizzy?
No, sir, not a lot.
Especially as it's unsigned.
Good God, I never even noticed that. There's a dirty trick. This fellow's even more devious than I thought he was. Now we don't know who to look for.
Fancy him not signing his name, sir.
Anyway, I was under the impression that you were some kind of expert in self-defense.
Well, I was hit from behind. Not the sort of thing you expect in an art gallery. I mean, most people are there for the culture.
Oh, must have been a bunch of tearaway farmers.
Why do you say that, sir?
Well, they were obviously there for the agriculture.
Look here, this is all very well, but what are you going to do about Miss Carter? I mean, she has been kidnapped.
Then we shall have her unkidnapped. We shall find out who her abductors are and lean on them with the full majesty of the law, Mr. Ottershaw. Just a pity that Mr. Weinstock didn't see fit to confide in us a little earlier. Anyway, as Omar Sharif said when the River Tiber overflowed its banks and poured through his front room where he was engaged in a game of cards with 3 of his mates, that's water under the bridge.
What do you reckon our next move should be, sir?
Pick up Mickey Jordan.
Who's Mickey Jordan?
He's the crummy little toe rag who's been taking more than an unusual interest in your governor lately. We find out who he's working for, we might get a lead. Anyway, we'll keep in touch, sir. Good day. Come on, Frisbee.
Yes, Sharon? Oh, thank goodness for that. Put him through straight away, will you?
Hello? Hello, Oliver?
I'm so pleased to hear from you, sir.
Oh, can't think why. Our news is lousy. What do you mean yours is terrible, too? Oh, my God.
Well, what's the matter? What's happened?
Helen, she's been grabbed again. This time she didn't get away. Oliver, have you rung the police? Oh, that Inspector Dearlove's working on it.
Ah, now, whoever took her left a ransom note saying that they'd only release her in exchange for the Dutch diamonds.
Oh, that's a real killer punch, that is, because we're ringing up to say that although we've discovered the town where Carter was taken prisoner, a place called Arsdorp, we haven't got the faintest idea where to look for the stones.
Now, I may be able to help you there. You remember the only 3 decipherable words on the last page of the diary?
Oh, corn, horn and dash, you mean?
Yes, that's right, that's right. Now tell me, is there a statue of some kind in the main square at Harsdorp?
Well, I suppose it's possible. Shouldn't be hard to find out. Here, go and ask one of the locals if there used to be a statue in the town square here.
A statue?
Yeah, go on, just do it. Go on. Right, carry on, Oliver.
Excuse me?
Yeah?
I don't suppose you speak English, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good, that's a bit of luck. Could you tell me, was there ever some kind of statue in this square?
Yes, there was. But it was removed long ago, during the war.
What sort of thing was it?
Sort of goddess. Greek, I think. Standing on a fountain.
Who took it away, then?
General von Klaus. That German commander. He took it with him when his troops withdrew. He was very fond of looting statues, painting and such. They say his castle in Bavaria is absolutely full of our treasures.
Where in Bavaria would that be, then?
Munich, I believe.
Thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
It's a pleasure, but why the sudden interest in a statue? 2 of your compatriots have been asking similar questions not so long ago.
2 Englishmen?
Yeah.
Well, that's strange, isn't it? Oh, well, you know what they say about us English. We're all a bit eccentric. There's too much of the midday sun. Cheerio.
Well?
There is a statue, yeah.
A Greek goddess.
How did you know?
Ollie, you're a proper little genius. I'll ring her up when we got some more news. Yeah, ta-da, mate.
Well, what was all that about?
Well, Oliver's come up with an ingenious theory. He reckons it's something to do with the cornucopia.
To what?
Oh, I didn't know either. But it's the horn of plenty. It's a large goat horn full of flowers and fruit and corn. And in paintings and statues, it seemed to be carried by a goddess, see? So there you have the word horn and des, the last word in goddess.
Yeah, Bernie, I know I'm not very bright, but what has all that got to do with the diamonds?
Well, according to Oliver, Carter came rushing out of the jeweller shop into the square and realised he was going to be taken prisoner. So he stuck the diamonds in the first available hiding place. The Horn of Plenty.
Oh, well, that seems possible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Trouble is, we don't know where the statue is now.
I think I've got a good idea where it is. I think it's in a castle in Bavaria, somewhere near Munich, owned by the General von Klaus. Well, that's what the old gardener told me.
Norman, I'm impressed.
Yeah, another thing the old boy told me, there were 2 other Englishmen asking the very same questions. Now, that don't seem possible.
Oh, I don't know, though. Maybe that grenade was meant for us after all.
That's a nasty thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd better get to that castle quick.
Yes.
Which way is it to Munich?
Well, follow all the signs of Germany and then ask.
Wake up, Bernie, come on.
Oh, God, I'm tired.
So am I. You expect to be when you drive the best part of 500 miles overnight.
You didn't. I drove the best part.
I've always needed my kip since I was a kid.
What did we stop here for, anyway?
Well, I followed those directions that policeman gave us in Munich, and I reckon we're within half a mile of the castle. But we haven't decided what we're going to do when we get there yet.
True, true. We could hardly go bowling up to the General and ask him if we can have a grope round his goddess just because we think she's been stuffed full of diamonds, can we?
It wouldn't seem very sensible on the face of it, no.
Well, we'll have a recce first and then we'll make a plan.
Right. There it is.
Oh, blimey, that's a size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's cut through those woods and see if we can get to it from this direction, all right?
Right.
Right. Oh! Blimey, look at this, Norm.
Yeah. I bet this fence goes all round the castle grounds.
Yeah.
What do you think that sign says?
Well, the rough guess, trespassers will be electrocuted. I don't think the General's too keen on the idea of people dropping in for a cup of char.
I wonder if there's any way we can get over the top of this, or even underneath it.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
So, 2 more Englanders. Looking for your friends, no doubt. Move! Mach schnell, Max, weg, verfluchte englische Schweinhunde! Alle raus! Mach schnell! Raus! Schnell! Raus!
Fool tried to escape before I could question him. What have you brought me here?
2 Englishmen, Herr General. We caught them trying to break through the fence.
Part of the same gang of art thieves, I've no doubt. Look what happened to your accomplice. You're wrong, believe me. It's nothing to do with us. We don't know him. No? It's Foxwell. So, you do know him. Bring them inside.
Zu Befehl, Herr General.
Not a bad little gaff. Wonder what the rates are like.
I wonder what happened to Foxwell.
Well, look at this place, something nasty.
Be quiet.
You wouldn't speak to me like that if you didn't have that dirty great gun.
Silence, or I'll shoot.
You better come a bit closer, otherwise you might miss.
Oh, don't make trouble, Bernie.
Ist der Herr General bereit für uns, Gott?
Jawohl.
Gut. Move.
Where we go?
The Herr General wishes to ask you a few questions.
Oh, good. I like a nice quiz. Come on, Norm.
Move!
All right, all right.
Take set and set, you alien Schwein. And teach you to meddle with the Luftwaffe. Herein! Try to bomb me, would you, you treacherous dog? I will destroy you!
Ah, cosmic monsters. They're good, they are. Yeah. Don't think much of your score, though. I beat that by 10,000.
What? What did you say?
We got one of them in the markers at Granby, down the bottom of New Cross High Street. Well, you've been wiped out, mate. Duffed up.
The Germans are never defeated. Never!
Oh, yeah? Well, what about Wembley Stadium, 1966? A World Cup final.
You are dicing with your lives, you English pigs!
4-2 to England, wasn't it, Norm?
No, the Germans won. I remember it distinctly. They were great. They played smashing.
I know you're a coward, Norm, but don't try and rewrite history.
Silence!
That's all anybody ever says round here. Silence.
Who are you working for?
Nobody. Honest.
Liar!
Oh, now look, Chief, we're just a couple of English tourists.
I hate the English.
All right, then, a couple of Irish tourists.
You are trying to lay your hands on my objet d'art.
Oh, don't be disgusting.
You and the other two are part of a gang of international art thieves who are trying to steal my sculptures and my paintings. My collection of masterpieces.
Don't be ridiculous. I couldn't tell a Van Gogh from a bus ticket. Only picture I know is Gone with the Wind.
I will have you shot and fed to the pigs.
Well, there's a switch. Pork eating a Jew.
But first, we will see if a couple of days without food and water will loosen your tongues.
Oh, loosen our belts, I shouldn't wonder.
Excuse me, would it be possible to phone the good lady? See, she gets a bit worried when I'm away, especially overseas.
Take them away!
Raus! It's a damn silly thing to do, Foxy, to try and make a boat for it.
This German general's a nutcase. He'd knock us off just for the fun of it.
Right. See out. Reinforcements. Nice to have you aboard.
Well, well, well. Foxwell's mate. I might have guessed you were both in the Royal Essex Regiment.
How did you find out about the diamonds?
I overheard you talking about diamonds when you first come down to see Colonel Edgerton. Then when you started asking questions about that insignificant little Bert Carter, me and old George here put two and two together and come up with 4.
So you've been one jump ahead of us all the time?
Which makes me wonder about a certain little hand grenade that was dropped in a dinghy in Amsterdam.
We only wanted to delay you for a bit.
You might have delayed us permanently. I want to punch you in the uter.
No, gentlemen, please. Fighting amongst ourselves is not going to get us anywhere at all. Now, an alliance will be more to the point. After all, we're all after the same thing, the diamonds, which we believe are hidden in that statue which was looted from Harsdorp. Now, that statue is somewhere within the purlieus of this castle.
Why did you know the stones were in the statue?
A process of simple elimination. It was the only place Carter could have hidden the stones in the time between leaving the jeweller's shop and being captured by the Jerrys.
Proper little smart ass, aren't you?
Thank you very much. Now, I propose that we pool our resources, that we retrieve the diamonds, and that we split the proceeds 50-50.
50-50 with a couple of villains like you? No chance.
Hang about, Norm. 50% of something's better than 100% of sweet Fanny Adams.
Oh, I suppose I'd better bow to you as the senior partner.
Right, it's a deal, gentlemen.
Before we all get carried away on a tide of matiness, may I point out that we are locked in here with an armed guard outside the door? How are we going to escape?
It's a good point, Foxy.
What about setting fire to the furniture? Yeah, well, supposing one of us was to slash his wrists and scream for help.
That's a great idea, Norm. Go on, then.
Oh, no, I didn't mean me.
Hang on. I've got an idea. Listen. Having a prance about. You know, it's an old English custom.
You are mad!
This geezer thinks we're crackers. I'll kick him in the knackers as soon as I get near his side.
So stick the boot right in, burn him when he drops, it's my turn.
He'll hit the floor, we're out the door! Oi, Fred Astaire, it's all over. Ginger's asleep.
Oh, sorry, Ben. Come on, all clear.
Right. Now, don't forget our arrangement. We all stick together, right?
Of course, old man. One for all and all for one.
Right.
I don't care what it costs, Willie. I must have that painting.
Ja, natürlich. Aber supposing he does not wish to sell, Herr General?
Then he will have to be persuaded. Some of the best pieces in my collection have come from people who were reluctant to part with them.
Look, there it is.
are we going to get at it?
I don't know. By the way, gentlemen, since your last visit, I have been able to acquire a sketch by Holbein. A charming little thing.
I should very much like to see it.
Come, I will show you.
Quick, now's our chance. Okay.
If Oliver's theory was right, the diamonds should be in that hall.
I'm frightened to look in case they're not. Get us the chair.
Oh, good.
Any luck?
Hang on, I've got something. I've got it.
Bloody hell.
We're all stinking rich. We'll have to get them back to England first.
I think we'll take care of those, my dear fellow.
They're coming back again.
So, the stupid old woman didn't realize the value of the sketch. And I was able to get it for a sum.
When it comes to art, Herr General, I've never met anyone quite as ruthless as you.
I consider one masterpiece to be worth more than a dozen paltry lives. Another drink, gentlemen. Come.
Thank you.
Really?
What is this intriguing gossip we hear from the castle servants, Herr General?
Something about a gang of art thieves.
That is true. My servants have captured 4 in all. The villains are safely under lock and key, I can assure you.
What are you going to do with them?
The scum will be made to suffer. And when they are no longer amusing, there are 4 freshly dug graves in the forest.
Isn't that a little drastic?
Nothing is bad enough for these Schweine! And now, gentlemen, a toast to art. I must cut down on this wine. I'm drinking too much.
Luncheon is served, Herr General.
Good. Come, gentlemen. We'll continue this discussion over lunch. Oi! Did you hear what that nutter said?
Yes, I think this calls for a rapid tactical withdrawal.
We haven't got time for that. Let's go up.
I don't know the way out of this place, but by God, we better find it. Come on.
Gott mit Himmel! Don't come! Don't come! Ha!
Die Tür ist Schusslosen! Motorbikes after us, Bert.
Blimey! Blimey! It's ridiculous! I'm okay, don't worry. I don't know what I'm doing.
My gut's going round like a windmill.
Put your foot down, Weinstock!
playing any lorry. All right.
If we can get across that lake, we'll be right outside the castle grounds.
Well, there's a bit of luck. Look, a boat.
Blimey, Bern, listen to that.
Come on, you two, let's get out of here.
You're not going anywhere, Mr. Weinstock. Nor you, Mr. Lugg.
What a schnook I am. I should have remembered. You're the dirty, rotten lowlife.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
The diamonds, please.
I hope they turn out to be glass, you rotten basket.
Might as well knock 'em off, George. No point in leaving witnesses, eh?
No, Foxy. It's a waste of effort. We'll leave them to the tender mercy of Herr General and his puppy dogs.
Hey, look out behind you!
Well, how naive can you get? That is the oldest trick in the game.
I couldn't have put the handbrake on properly.
You should get a medal for careless driving.
Come on, let's get out of here. Now you stay and have fun with the puppy dogs.
Come on, Bern, hurry up!
All right, I'm hurrying, aren't I?
What's your Ollie? How on earth did you know it was me, Mr. Weinstock?
I recognise your aftershave.
What you got all that funny gear on for?
I'm trying to avoid the police.
Picked up another parking ticket, have you?
I'm terribly sorry to see that you've been injured, sir. You didn't tell me when you phoned. Did that happen when you were escaping from the castle?
No, there's nothing wrong with me.
Then why are you limping?
Because I came through customs with about 5 million quid's worth of diamonds stuffed in my jockstrap.
Oh, I see.
I've probably got the richest crutch in the world. Anyway, what are you doing on the knock from the law, then?
Well, since you phoned, the kidnappers have been in touch with me again.
How?
Well, they rang me at the office from a public call box and they said they were fast losing their patience. So I had to tell them that you were on your way back with the diamonds. They want to do the exchange tomorrow evening. They hand over Miss Carter and we hand over the diamonds. Oh, and the chap on the phone was most explicit. No police. Or in his words, the lady gets the chop.
Oh, so that's why you're wearing all that funny gear.
Well, I didn't know if Inspector Dearlove was having me followed. So I thought I'd better take precautions.
Good thinking, mate. Where's this handover supposed to take place?
At Blackpool.
Blackpool? Why out there?
I don't know. Or maybe the crooks are up there on holiday.
Oh, perhaps these villains are all masquerading as seaside landladies.
Anyway, what happens when we get up there?
You, Mr. Weinstock, are to go to the Pleasure Beach at 9:30 tomorrow evening. You are to be wearing a kiss-me-quick hat and eating candy floss.
So I look like everyone else? Yeah. Well, what then?
Well, you will be contacted with further instructions.
Here, Bernie, I've just had a marvellous idea. Since these villains don't know how many diamonds we got, we can give them half. Oh, what am I saying? Quarter.
This chappie did go on to say that if any of us were ever connected, even remotely, with the sale or disposition of diamonds, serious reprisals would be taken.
Well, don't frighten me.
Against Miss Carter.
Oh, well, there you are then, Norm. That knocks your idea on the head.
Oh, it makes you sick, don't it? We get our hands on the diamonds against all the odds, and now we've got to hand them over to a bunch of thieving villains.
Oh, I know it's tough, but Helen's life is worth more than the stones.
Yeah, I know. Seems such a shame.
Anyway, all is not lost. We've got from now until tomorrow to make plans. We'll find a nice, quiet place and have a little think.
Well, I've got Mummy's rolls in the car park.
Good. That means we've got some transport then.
Hello, Mr. Weinstock, and your fellow sleuth. How lovely to see you.
Salutations, dear lady.
What's your mum doing here?
Well, I'm sorry, but where the rolls goes, Mummy goes.
Hop aboard, everyone. There's a picnic box in the back. Can't get good food north of Watford, I'm told. Not that I've been there myself, of course.
After you, Oliver.
Oh, Mr. Weinstock, please.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, Norm.
It goes against the grain, you know. The whole of my working-class background is in a state of total revulsion.
Is that a fact? So long, Norm. I'm sure the comrades run the train up to Blackpool for you high-principled brothers.
Hold on, Bern. It was only an ideological joke. I vote Liberal anyway. Now, Bernie.
Why don't you wear a mask, Norm? Somebody might recognise you.
Very funny, stupid little git.
Mr. Weinstock? Yes? You've had a ride paid for. All aboard.
The Big Dipper. 10 o'clock.
Weinstock?
Yeah, that's me.
Your carriage awaits.
Oh, thank you.
You'll find it's the ride of your life.
Oh, my God. I'm closer to you than I ever was before. I promise I'll lay off the booze and the ham sandwiches as long as you don't cast me down.
Weinstock?
Yes, Lord?
Weinstock. The diamonds. Chuck 'em over.
Not until you hand over Miss Carter.
She's here. Now, go on the diamonds or the little lady takes a dive.
Oh.
Very sensible.
There you go, Gov.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day.
Right. Well, we're going down now. But you're going to take another ride. There's no charge while I make a getaway. Got it?
Don't worry, Helen. Everything's under control. Come in, Ollie.
Philidor's receiving you. It's a 10-2, good buddy.
Tell Oliver Helen's all right. The kidnappers are heading for the main entrance. There's 4 of them.
You heard Mr. Weinstock. Now off you go and stop the baddies.
This way, Governor. The car's over here. Oh, my God. It's kung fu again.
Oh, thank you, Bernie.
That's all right, my love. Come on.
I know what I'm beat.
In a hurry, are we, sir? I thought you and I might have a little chat.
What I don't understand is how Inspector Dearlove managed to pop up out of the blue like that.
You've got a lot to learn, son, you have. I bet you had the phone in the office bugged when you told her that Helen had been kidnapped. He used us to flush out the villains and was there to pick up the pieces.
Philidor's to Jelly Deal. Come in, Jelly Deal.
Jelly Deal's here.
Is the restaurant okay?
Oh, yes, first class, your ladyship, first class.
Don't forget the meals are on me. 10-4, good buddy.
She's a knockout, your mum, you know, Olive. She really is. If she hadn't thought of these CB radio walkie-talkies, we'd be in dead stuck.
Well, I'm just happy to be alive.
Oh, good morning, all.
Good morning.
Enjoying your lunch?
Lovely.
Well, I've got some remarkably good news for you lot.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
I heard from the Yard this morning. They've been on to the Dutch authorities, and apparently you're in line for the reward of 5% of the value of the diamonds, about £250,000. Well, there you are, Mr. Weinstock. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yeah, but you haven't found that car I had nicked, have you, that Rover?
Ah, now talking of Rovers, this'll give you a bit of a laugh. By pure coincidence, I bought mine at the used car showrooms owned by that Cyril Blackman whom I collared last night.
Well, that's nice. A nice car to drive, though, isn't it?
Yes. Pity the interior light doesn't work there.
Didn't on mine either.
And the clock's stuck at 10 to 4.
Yeah. Oh, it is on mine.
There's a small dent on the offside wing.
You're kidding, Inspector. Do you know what? He's found my car.